Welcome back to EduTube. In our last explainer, we covered what makes Web3 marketing such a different beast from what we're all used to. Today, we're diving straight into its beating heart, community. Trust me, this is where the real magic happens.
Okay, so let's start with the single biggest shift. I think this slide just nails it. For decades, marketing has been a one-way street, right? TV ads, billboards, even most social media ads. Brands cook up a message and just kind of blast it at you. Well, Web3 completely flips that script. It's not a monologue anymore, it's a conversation. It's all about collaboration. You're not building a product and then desperately trying to find customers. No, you build a community first, and the brand literally grows with them. So to really wrap our heads around this, we're going to break it down into 3 core layers that all build on each other. We'll set the stage, then explore belonging and participation, and finally get to the real game changer, ownership. And by the end, you'll see exactly how this all comes together to turn the community, people just like you, into the most powerful marketing engine imaginable. All right, let's dive in. For a second, I want you to just forget everything you think you know about traditional marketing. Ad budgets, conversion funnels, all that stuff. We're about to look under the hood of a brand new growth engine that's powering the most successful projects in Web3. This right here, this is the core idea. Community-driven marketing isn't just about having a friendly chat group. It's a full-on strategy where the users themselves become the main drivers of growth. They're not just passive consumers anymore. They're advocates, they're contributors, and, this is the most important part, they're co-owners who are financially and emotionally invested in the project's success. It's a complete pivot from paying for ads to empowering a passionate community. This slide basically gives us the roadmap for how someone goes from just being a curious outsider to a true believer. You can think of it like a journey with 3 key stops. It all starts with that initial spark, that feeling of belonging. From there, it naturally moves into active participation. And the final destination, the real revolution, is ownership. Let's walk through each one. So let's start at the foundation, belonging. This is the emotional core of everything. It's the reason people even show up in the first place. See, in Web3, you're not just joining a platform to use a cool new product, you're joining a movement because you actually believe in its mission. It's about finding your people and a shared purpose you can really get behind. I absolutely love this analogy because it just captures the shift perfectly. In Web2, you're a customer of a company. You buy their thing, and that's kind of the end of the story. But in Web3, you join a tribe. You rally around a shared idea, a common goal, or a set of values. The product itself is often just the tool that helps the tribe achieve its mission. This little mindset shift from company to tribe is, well, it's everything. And this quote just brilliantly shows the raw power of belonging. It's talking about something called Constitution DAO. So a DAO is basically a community with a shared bank account. And in this case, a group of thousands of complete strangers got together online with one wild goal: to buy an original copy of the US Constitution at an auction. They didn't have a product to sell, they had a mission. And that shared mission was so powerful that it united 17,000 people and raised over $40 million in just 1 week. That's the power of belonging in Web3. Okay, so once people feel like they belong, something incredible starts to happen. They don't just sit on the sidelines anymore. They want to get involved, they want to contribute, and this brings us right to our second layer, participation. This is where we go from a passive audience to an active army of creators and builders. So what does participation actually look like? Well, the community becomes the living, breathing heart of the project. They're the ones driving conversations on places like Twitter and Discord, which are really the town squares of Web3. They're creating the culture, the inside jokes, the memes. They're showing up for events, giving crucial feedback that literally shapes the future of the product. And, maybe most importantly, they're the ones at the front door welcoming new people into the tribe. And the really key point here is that this participation has real, tangible value. In Web2, you might post about a brand you love, and what happens? You get a few likes, maybe a nice comment, and that's about it. But in Web3, that same energy, that same creativity directly builds the brand's identity, its culture, and ultimately, its financial value. The community's creativity is the marketing campaign. All right, now we've reached the top of the pyramid. This is the true revolution. This is the part that makes Web3 marketing unlike anything that's ever come before. It's the layer of ownership. This is where users stop being just fans and start becoming genuine partners in the entire venture. Seriously, just think about this for a second. We've all seen referral programs where you get, like a small discount for inviting a friend? But imagine if instead of a discount, you got a tiny piece of the company itself. That's the core idea of ownership in Web3. When the project succeeds, the community members who helped build it, by inviting friends, making memes, giving feedback, they succeed right alongside it. Everyone's incentives are perfectly aligned.
This quote just hits the nail on the head. When you give your community members ownership, and this usually happens through things like tokens, which are kind of like shares, or NFTs, which are like unique collectibles, they become invested stakeholders. They're not just customers anymore. They are owners, and what do owners do? They naturally become evangelists. They want the project to win because they win too, and that creates the most authentic, passionate, and powerful marketing force on the planet.
And look, this isn't some niche theoretical idea. Just look at this number. We're talking about Nike, one of the biggest brands in the world. They generated $186 million in revenue from NFTs in a single year. They weren't just selling digital shoes, they were selling digital ownership, status, and belonging. They literally turned their customers into collectors and stakeholders, creating a brand new, incredibly valuable relationship that goes way beyond just a simple purchase. Let's look at a crypto-native example. Arbitrum is a massive blockchain project, and it has a governance token called ARB. But this token isn't just for speculation. Holding ARB gives you real power. I'm talking about the ability to vote on huge decisions, to help decide the future roadmap for the entire project, and even to help decide how to spend treasury funds on new projects. The community isn't just along for the ride. They are in the driver's seat. That's what real ownership looks like. So let's bring this all home. When you combine that deep sense of belonging with active participation, and you top it all off with real, meaningful ownership, what you get is a complete transformation of the user's role. They evolve from being a passive customer into an active co-builder.
And this is the ultimate takeaway, right here. The entire model is designed to turn the people who use the product into the people who build the community, who spread the word, and who share in the success. Suddenly, the marketing team's job changes completely. It's no longer about crafting clever ads, it's about empowering your community and just giving them the tools they need to tell the story themselves.
If you've ever felt like marketing should be more collaborative, more authentic, more human, this is it. Web3 turns customers into community builders. So make sure you subscribe to EduTube for more beginner-friendly lessons on how real Web3 growth actually happens. And before you go, I've got a question for you. For all of you out there exploring Web3, which community do you think has the absolute best vibe, the most passionate members? Drop your answer in the comments below, and who knows, we might just explore what makes them so special in a future video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
EduTube, where blockchain becomes easy to understand.